Had to pray to Almighty God and let my dog out the kennel. When you get it straight up by the mud, you can't imagine these shit. I've been pulling up in the drop tops with the baddest bitches. Young nigga been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. I was riding around in the V12 with the rags in the middle. Had to pray to Almighty God and let my dog out the kennel. When you get it straight up by the mud, you can't imagine these shit. I've been pulling up in the drop top with the baddest bitches. Young nigga been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me.
Turn it up. This is a DJ Kia exclusive.
Let me begin by saying that today I unconditionally surrender to you, Yahweh, with a deep call for your deliverance. Yahweh, I'm crying out, desperate for your help, and an intervention is what I need. As I'm dependent on you, because of your mercies, I'm not consumed, and your loving compassion never fails. Yahweh, you alone make the impossible possible, calm the raging storms, and you are my refuge. I will praise Yahweh at all times. I will constantly speak his praises. I will boast only in the Yahweh. Let all who are helpless take heart. Come, let us tell of Yahweh's greatness. Let us exalt his name together. I prayed to Yahweh and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. Those who will look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. And in my desperation, I prayed and Yahweh listened. He saved me from all my troubles. For the angels of Yahweh is a guard. He surrounds and defends all those who fear him. I bid you all shalom tonight. I bid you all greetings to my members and friends of the nation. I bid you assalamu alaikum. And to those of you all who are still practicing the slave master's religion, I bid you peace and blessings. And I welcome you to the first full edition of Factz Ova Feelingz after July 4th, 2020. Many of you all who have been a fan of Factz Ova Feelingz are fully aware that this is the most interrupted live stream on Instagram. It is the most heavily censored. You are liable to have all kinds of problems tonight. You're going to find out that your sound is going to go out. You're going to find out that the screen is going to freeze, and you're going to be told that no matter what you do, you can't connect. Best thing for you to do is log out and log back in, because when you're telling the truth, nobody wants to treat you like you are. As a matter of fact, there's a whole lot of lying going on today. As a matter of fact, we found out that if you get too close to the truth, if you touch that nerve, that the demons will scream. We found out that if you get too close to the truth, that the demons will start to lie on you. If you get too close to salvation, if you get too close. Matter of fact, you might find out that the Lion of Judah sometimes cannot get the work done because the lion ain't got no teeth. I welcome you to Factz Ova Feelingz tonight, and I would like to let you all know the rules of the house. This was a public profile until we got back into Factz Ova Feelingz, and that was to allow as many of you to join as possible. And that includes all of you racists, rednecks, and folks that are scared that your days are numbered and coming to an end. I am here as a representative of the Almighty and on behalf of the 12 tribes of Israel to let you know that you're absolutely right. Your time is coming to an end, not because we say so, but because he say so. And therefore, you too need to find yourself a space in the place and get ready for what's about to go on. You know we're getting close to the truth because every time we take a step forward, y'all get nervous. Every time we start to do what regular folks do, y'all get scared. Every time we try to play by the rules you wrote, you want to change the rules. That's all right with us because at some point, we're going to look at you and say, fuck the rules. We'll play by our own rules. Therefore, I am happy to be back in the place to be. Factz Ova Feelingz. If you don't know, if you have feelings, leave them at the door. If you bring your feelings, we're going to recommend that you get help. My moderators that are in the room with you will kindly note your user account so that you will be permanently banned and permanently blocked from these broadcasts forevermore. So let it be written. So let it be done. They will give me your name and we hope that you will say something crazy. We're praying that you say something because when you're throwing the truth and it lands on one of the demons, what ends up happening is that the demon can't help but scream. So I want to make sure that you scream good and loud so we can throw you the fuck out of here. This is Factz Ova Feelingz, as we've been doing for months. Let me say this, just because you found out about us doesn't mean that we haven't existed all this time. Every one of these blue items, blue icons you see in the scroll that says NFAC, I like to welcome the members of the Not Fucking Around Coalition. Welcome back. Y'all thought that all we were was soldiers. No, we are students of the Most High. No, we are not to be aligned or associated with anyone else, so stop trying. We are not them, or them. We are I am that I am, and that's who we represent. And all of you all who claim to be the children of Yahweh, those of you all who claim to be the elect, those of you all who claim that at some point in time you are one of the chosen, you don't realize that we're representing you. Y'all give me a second so I can put this on here right, because I don't like the way that sounds. There we go. We back in business. There we go. So I want to give you fair warning tonight that as we proceed through the next hour or so, as I begin to unpack what Yahweh has given me to deliver to the children. And remember, only his children hear his voice. The rest of you, this won't make any sense. Some of you are still asleep. Some of you still brainwashed. Some of you are just downright scared. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about fear tonight and where it comes from. We're also going to examine quite a few things. There appears to be some confusion floating through the congregation, and there appears to be some animosity pointed at us because we're simply doing what the law said that we can do. We want to also clear up the fact that there are not 1, 2, 3, or 4 of us. There's only one. And then we're going to show you the hypocrisy that is right now staining the atmosphere. So I want to begin. First of all, let us have our 5 minutes of funk here and talk about what happened this weekend, because the media is not going to tell you the truth. Don't believe any of the YouTube videos you're seeing because they're in their feelings. They're not going to tell you the truth. Don't believe any of the blogs that you read because none of them were there. So they're just passing on secondhand information. Big shout out to my man, Yarima Karima. If you follow him, he did come down there with us to Stone Mountain. Brother man came out to support. And when we took the walk, and I'm going to clear that up in a minute, he took the walk with us. I want to also congratulate all of the members, the new members of the NFAC in Stone Mountain and in Phoenix that were sworn in simultaneously via live stream, that we were able to do that. And I also want to really give a heartfelt thanks to all of the people who traveled not only from around the nation, but who traveled overseas to be a part of the first Black Guns formation. I say the first because we're going to do it again. And you know, when we do it this time, all of y'all that punked out, you get a chance to redeem yourself and come on out there and stand the post with your mans right here. But I wanted to get this out because here's what you don't know. We got to put some things out because they're going to twist the narrative. They're going to break down the story all incorrectly. And what happens is, I've taught you this once before, my people, that the media controls the minds of the people, and the misinformed people make misinformed decisions. The same way you made a misinformed decision in 2016 when y'all let them elect, select, inject that idiot in the house that we built. Truth of the matter is they hid some things from you so you couldn't make an intelligent decision. And now many of you all are finding out today that I too was one of the individuals that you could have elected as your president. Probably wouldn't have lasted long because as soon as I got in there, I would have done a gang of stuff for us. And they would have been like, oh no, this man done lost his damn mind. He done came in here and gave these people reparations. He done came in here and started redistribution of the wealth. He done came in here and started redistributing the land. He done came in here and started letting people out of jail. He done came in here and started putting people in jail. This man came in here and did all these things just for black folks. He got to go. Not before I sign a couple executive orders and get a few things done. But they hid that from you. So tonight, once again, I'd like to bid you all a deep, warm welcome back to Factz Ova Feelingz. I know you missed me because I've read your letters. I can't even get in my inbox anymore. For the other 60,000 of you that have joined us out of curiosity, out of just wanting to know what's going on, out of a need to be a part of history, we welcome you. But please don't make the mistake of thinking that we're just doing this off the cuff. We meet here every Wednesday, every Tuesday, every Monday, whichever fits us. And we get together and we discuss issues that are too painful for them to discuss on the news. Well, we're in the history books, folks, so give yourselves a pat on the back. The largest organized black open carry assembly in history occurred this weekend. In case you didn't pay attention because you were somewhere with your head still wrapped up in the Edomites, that you didn't realize that we did this. The objective was several. We wanted to demonstrate that we could actually open carry and exercise our constitutional rights because we can, and that we could peacefully assemble because we can, and that we wanted to send a message to the very core of the racist attitudes that emulate across the United States. They stem from the Ku Klux Klan. We wanted to pay them a visit because they made a threat against us. They said, y'all remember the threat. Y'all heard it because a lot of you scary Negroes repeated it. You went out and you said, don't come outside because the Klan say they're going to get you. Well, I don't know about y'all, but that went in one ear and out the other. That's like, flies to, you know what I'm about to say. That's like a match to, you know what I'm about to say. Get what I'm saying to you. Hold on. If you're not drinking alkaline water, you're wrong. Point blank. Not going to keep telling you. But the point of the matter was they made a threat. And they threatened me. Then they threatened my peoples. Then they threatened my race. After all those threats, I thought I would have to fight to get a seat at the table to address that. But instead, what I saw was doors closing, lights getting turned out, people coming up with excuses why they couldn't address the threat. Well, I don't know about y'all, but the ancestral blood that flows through my veins, the ancestral bloods got hot. And then my pineal gland got to wiggling. And then all of a sudden the ancestors tuned into me and said, I know damn well you're not going to sit there and let them say that. Somebody got to speak back to this. So I said, I'm going to do better than that. Enough talk. Let's go see them boys. So phone call got made and the NFAC mounted up and we touched down. And I'm going to let y'all know something that you don't know. When we got there, they tried to tell us that what we couldn't do. Oh, they tried to tell us that, the guns, you can't have the guns. And then they told us, you can't do this and you can't do that. But then they saw how many of us it was. And we kept coming and we kept pulling up and we kept on pulling up. And you don't understand. We didn't come to protest. We are a black militia. Problem with that is when people hear the word black militia, they get scared because they don't know what a militia is. But when you hear names like the 3%ers or the Arizona Border Recon or the Hutati or the Idaho Lightfoot Militia or the Michigan Militia or the Militia of Montana or the Missouri Citizens Militia or the Missouri Militia or the New York Lightfoot Militia or the Oath Keepers or the Ohio Defense Force or the Texas Lightfoot Militia, they don't say nothing. These are white people who have gone out and geared up, and they make it very clear what their problem is. Their problem is you. Understand what that white people have carved themselves up so that they can address you. They have built systems into place to deal with you. But when you decide to build something just like what they have to deal with them, oh, you're a terrorist. Oh, how did this happen? Somebody do something. In other words, y'all still believe we live in an equal society? No. If you can't see that racism and the apartheid that we live under is as evident as it's ever been, then you're part of the problem. And it makes no difference which color skin you wear. Some of y'all seek to be approved by these Edomites so much that you will throw off your whole race and talk down to us and talk down on us because you want to be accepted by Master. Yeah, you want to hang out with Master. You want to be seen just like Master. And the reason you want to do it is because you want to enjoy all the rights and privilege that Master got. Well, the truth of the matter is Master ain't what you think it is. Because sometimes when the situation is right, Master is going to show you his true colors. Case in point, y'all heard the story. Black man up in Indiana. They said he always attempted lynching. Everybody was sending me the video. Now, let's be honest, y'all. We don't ordain stupidity here at Factz Ova Feelingz. Right is right and wrong is wrong. We don't go with emotions. And if the people who had something to say about the NFAC understood that we don't operate out of emotions, it would behoove you to keep your mouth shut before you get pulled up on. And you all know who I'm talking to. Keep talking. And the only black on black crime that's going to be committed is going to be by us, by erasing your ass, because you are detrimental to the cause of freeing our people. But we'll get back to you in a minute. So this black man was out in the woods and they said it was an attempted lynching. And here they sent me the video and I watched all 4 parts of the video. If you haven't, you got to check it out. And immediately something jumped into my mind. Pardon my language, but the fuck you doing out in the woods with a bunch of white people? In the woods. Okay. First of all, people, here we go. And especially to young folks, learn to practice what we call racial awareness. What that means is be aware of the environment that you're in. Every place is not the same. Every place is shaped by the history of what happened there. If I could throw up the picture of the man being hung from the tree with the people all around him taking pictures and little people got balloons and they celebrating and told you that was in Indiana. If I showed you the picture of the brother that was bent over backwards that they burnt at the stake and the people was turning around posing for pictures, you would say that was in Indiana too. So if you've been to some of these racially tense places where white folks haven't prospered, places where white folks still resent the fact that they don't own us anymore and have not done any better. If you have been to any of these places, then you should practice racial awareness. When I'm traveling across the country and I have to stop at a rest stop, I'm talking about like one of those truck stops, I walk in and I pay attention to everybody around me. I pay attention. Situational awareness is what we call it in the military. Just be aware. Don't be so oblivious, always on your phone looking down, not watching who's watching you. Y'all remember a few weeks ago, I told y'all on Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom, they used to always have the guy out there narrating why something was getting stalked. You don't get it. You're getting stalked right now. You're the prey. And a lot of y'all are oblivious. So when something happens, you're supposed to see that coming. You see, black folks, and yes, I'm talking to black folks. I told you if you tuned in, this is for black folks. But since y'all can't stop running y'all ass up in what we're doing, you're going to sit here and hear it too. Or you can just go ahead and click out. Remember, you clicked on my live. I didn't invite you here. But black folks, you know, we have this sixth sense about us that when something's about to pop off, we know when it's time to go. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We out somewhere with our peoples and we just having a good time. And all of a sudden, yourself, Ben Israel, let me tell you, I'm looking at you and you looking at me and I'm going, bruh, something don't look right. Something don't look right. And then all of a sudden we said, well, let's just get up out of here. And right after we leave, it all breaks out. It all breaks out. We got that sixth sense. Tay Lawless, I know you've been in a situation with me where we had to practice racial awareness. Well, apparently this brother must have missed that class because there was a couple of things wrong with this picture. The first thing that was wrong with the picture is you the only black person there. The second thing that was wrong with the picture is that y'all in the woods. The last thing wrong with the picture, no, it's two more things wrong with the picture, is that not only were you out in the woods with a bunch of black people in racist ass Indiana, but you was out there with some drunk white folks. You know the one that ain't got no shirt on, ain't got no shoes on, walking around like cave people. And the very fact that you stood there and tried to explain some shit, And then on top of that, then you there with the Edomite girl. You there with the cave girl. My brothers, when are y'all going to learn? Those creatures always lead you down the path to death. I ain't got to sit here. I'm not being racist. I can't be racist because anyone who calls me racist, I told you was going to get your feelings hurt. You don't know the meaning of the word racist. Can you read? Y'all can't read, can you? Well, if you look in the dictionary and it'll tell you what a racist is. It is impossible for a black person to be racist, but anybody can be prejudiced against people who've done shit to them. And I harbor a deep prejudice against the years of all of the things you've done to us and the audacity for you to have the attitude like you ain't done none wrong. Y'all walking around here like your white shit don't stink and the whole joint is just foul. And we just waiting for you to clean it up. Spray some air freshener in this mouth. Open a window. But you just walking around like it don't stink. In the woods with these people. And then had words. You by yourself, bro. See, you black folks who wrap yourselves in this blanket that these white folks gonna protect you. Really? Don't you know they used to eat you? You're like a well-behaved pet. So I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for this brother. That's the first thing I saw. Like this dumb motherfucker in the woods with a bunch of white people that's drunk in Indiana. And on top of that, you wasn't strapped? I'm sorry, y'all, but I can't get with that's why I don't run with these other bleeding heart movements. NFAC don't do that. We believe that you get what you earn. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. So y'all stop running out here believing that kumbaya bullshit, because if it backfires on you, they was gonna lynch that boy and nobody would have knew shit. But it just so happened that you have, remember, there's two types of white people. There's the aggressively racist white folks, and then there's the passive ones. The passive ones still enjoy the same benefits that the other ones enjoyed that was built off of your backs, but they want to get along with you because they don't want no trouble. They want to enjoy their benefits quietly. Whereas these motherfuckers over here, they want to enjoy their benefits and they want you going out their face. So anytime you get some Sean King looking motherfucker that come over there talking about, hey, look what they're doing to my people. First of all, we not your people. Let me go ahead and say that. We're not your people, Jeffrey. So cut the shit short. And then all y'all who still running with that BLM shit, when the last time you seen just black folks marching for Black Lives Matter? You see more white folks doing it now. They done hijacked that shit too. Y'all still doing that. The problem with all of that is that a lot of y'all don't know that if you put yourself in certain situations, people always show their true colors. And that's why I wanted to speak on this, because this black man in Indiana running with white folks, dating a white girl, almost got his ass hung in the fucking woods by a bunch of redneck peckerwoods who knew they could get away with it. And even when somebody had it on film, they just told him to get the hell out of there. They wasn't done with him. But I had no sympathy for people like that. Y'all are the only ones who think that moving up and away from your people is better. You got just what the fuck you deserve. And I'm done with that story. Meanwhile, I want y'all to understand that back in the 60s, the Black Panthers, who we are not affiliated with, y'all stop calling every black person you see dressed in black with a weapon a Black Panther. The Black Panthers are a unique movement. We are not affiliated with the Black Panthers. We endorse what the Black Panthers believed in their 10-step program, which addresses some of the same needs that we need today. But just because you see somebody dressed in black doesn't make them a Black Panther. I got to put that out there and let that hang for a minute. And every time you see a group of people, they're not always protesting either. The right to peacefully assemble means just that. If we just want to get together to stand in the park and look at the sky, we can do that. That's not a protest, it's a gathering. But every time we do something, there's always some type of repercussion. Like, for instance, white people can get out here and run up on the state house with guns and threaten the police, and the police just stand there and take it. Bruhs try to do that, and oh my God, they on the ground, face down. What's happening? But there's one thing that they forgot. And there's one thing that y'all forgot, and I'm going to teach y'all right now. There is strength in numbers. And I don't care what law is on the books. If enough of us show up, they ain't going to try to enforce that because it is logistically impossible. And for all you gung-ho white folks out there that think, well, that's what he thinks. You see, I served just like you. So don't start talking shit that can't happen. unless you truly want to smash the Constitution to pieces and we have a free-for-all in this motherfucker. The average black person can kill 9 people at one time. Now do the math. 300 million of us. Now subtract 50 million of us. Now do the math. How many times does 9 go into 250 million? Don't you realize that if shit really ever went off for real, that it wouldn't take, if I said every black person on here had to eliminate 9 of the opposition, I know some of y'all wouldn't stop there. Y'all don't understand that if black people were as violent as you make us out to be, there'd be no white people. So stop asking for something you really don't want. But there's strength in numbers. So when I decided, yes, stop the madness. When I decided, nobody else made this decision but me. Nobody else hatched this idea but me, because I talked to Yahweh and I said, Yah, what do you want me to do? We got to do something. They threatening the tribes. He says, I tell you what I want you to do, Jay. Come a little closer. Came a little closer and he said, I want you to go down there and I want you to take enough soldiers so that if anybody thinks twice, it'll be the last thought that they made. Not a problem. Gotcha. So we showed up. Oh, they lying about the numbers. They lying about the numbers, but do y'all really want me to show you the numbers? I have the folder. You see, y'all don't realize how organized we are. We ain't no ragtag bunch of idiots. Everybody who came out there had their weapons checked. Everybody who came out there had to sign a waiver of indemnity so that if anybody got hurt, nobody got sued. Everybody out there was given a safety briefing. Everybody out there had their stuff qualified. A lot of people got disqualified, but still hung out to support. When we got done, all of us who had to put this formation together in its proper configuration, we was not trying to march nowhere. We were a formation. And when I saw how many it was, the numbers were staggering. And it was time for us to go and speak. Just so happened that where we need to speak is up the goddamn street. So we went up the street. And when we got up the street, y'all saw how it went down. We was walking and white folks couldn't believe it. Black folks with guns. Black folks organized. Black folks on a mission. Hadn't seen nothing like that before. Oh, they was all shook up. They was in their windows. You had one who decided to run his mouth out of his car. Let me help y'all out. It wasn't random people walking up to him. I am the commander and general of the NFAC. So no one talks but me. So I approached him because you don't say anything to my soldiers. You say it to me. And the interesting thing was, he asked me, who do y'all think you are? And I said, well, who do you think you are? Matter of fact, while you answering that question, where are our reparations? And all he could do was sit there with that little silly ass grin. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you and the truck you in. Now say something. And we walked off. And he said nothing. Don't let them tell you no other lies. We wasn't pointing the guns at nobody. Everybody had their gun in 10 and 7. That's what they were supposed to. If you was new booty and you didn't understand, then guess what? That's your fault. But at the end of the day, don't believe the lies they telling you. Well, oh, the weapons look brand new. No, bruhs, keep they shit up just like you keep your shit up. What we supposed to do? Showed up out there with some old dirty, rusty ass shit? No, sir. That's not how we gets down. We showed up and y'all don't stop lying. Just admit you was scared shitless. But we was on a mission. And now what y'all also don't know is what they did when they saw us. At first, they wanted to have a showdown with us. Yes, the police wanted to have a showdown. They was like, no, these ain't coming up in here like that. So they mobbed up, but we kept coming. They just saw the front. And then they saw all of us. And then as y'all saw, they realized we're outgunned. We're seriously outgunned. I want to say to all my brothers that stood the post, y'all know I salute you and I love you. But I really want to give a salute to the sisters. The sisters that came out, the sisters that stood the post, the sisters that said, just give me the signal. The sister, the girl told me, not only am I going to shoot him, I got my switchblade. I want to cut some throats. The sisters that had had enough, the sisters that's trying to raise kids by themselves and don't know if they son going to come home because somebody who's hiding out as a cop done did something to the sisters that came out, who made a whole bunch of brothers look like pussy. So I have to salute you, sisters. Y'all know don't too much catch my eye, but you caught mine. And we went to where we had to go. And for y'all who don't know, we wasn't marching. We wasn't protesting. If you know anything about a formation, you got to move the formation from one spot to the other. So we moved from downtown to where this mountain was. But what we didn't know was that they had a change of attitude and they say, hey, we'll escort y'all where y'all got to go. They wasn't really doing that. What they were doing was evacuating the whole damn park. Oh, yes, they did. See, I found all this out after the fact. They got those white folks up out of there. They closed the whole damn park and they evacuated everybody. I wonder where all the cars was going. I was like, is it lunch or something? No, they were letting them know. And then they wouldn't let anybody in. Don't believe the lie that it was a MAGA hat wears waiting them. No, they told them you cannot go in this park right now. Well, why can't we go in the park? There's some shit in the park right now. Please, you can't go in the park right now. They called out to every other agency that was available. Can you please send something with wheels down here? And when the wheels showed up, they said, oh my God. So they was the nicest motherfuckers that we had ever seen. Y'all know the rest. Y'all seen the video. Our issue was that mountain. Because if you truly want to get rid of something that keeps reminding us of what you've done to us, since you don't want to acknowledge the Black Holocaust, since you don't want to pay reparations for the Black Holocaust, since you can't find it in your damn white soul, if you have one, to even find some remorse for what you've done to these people because you have a God complex and an inferiority complex at the same time, then we was going to make it pretty clear to you that if you want to show enough, all you white folks that claim you down with us, then y'all tear that motherfucker down. Blow it up. Take it down while you can. And it was only appropriate when you think back over the hundreds of years that they used to meet and do things, over the 100 years that the Klan would meet and burn crosses, over the 100 years when they would kidnap people and bring them out there and hang them and do all kind of crazy stuff to them. It was only fitting that those very souls are now looking from Sheol and saying, now that's what I'm talking about. Everybody who died in the civil rights movement no longer is rolling over in their grave talking about why they got signs at a gunfight. They finally can rest and say, now that's what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm getting at? Your ancestors told us that's what we talking about. And y'all, I don't know what to say. And I tried to figure out why. I did not know. But they closed the park. And then when we were done, they made sure that we got out safely. They made sure. And after that, we still had to go back to downtown. But we met some more. Put the guns up. Let them know. And then we left. Simultaneously in Escobar Park in Phoenix, same thing. But nobody reported that. Matter of fact, the media stayed away because they were scared. There was only one or two brave white guys who stayed. You see, if you look at any of the news stories, they never talked to us. They had to guess because they didn't know. See, that's what fear does to you, especially when you realize that what they're talking about your ass. So they closed the park down, told the people stay in the house, shelter in place. And as one person said, I've never seen this many black people, this organized, this united. You see, our unity is a scary thing. And I am trying to get you all to a place of racial unity again. You had it once before and you have systematically let them brainwash you and emasculate you and just move you out of your spot to now it don't even look like it's your spot no more. Now, when the Panthers went down to the State House in California, they changed the law. Now you can't open carry in the state of California anymore because of what the Panthers did. I got wind today that after we left, the city of Stone Mountain is now redefining their policy on granting permits because of what we did. See, you got to understand how they operate, y'all. You do something and then they try to close the door so you can't do it again. You see what I'm saying? Because it's okay when they do it. But if you do it, that fear kicks in, that, ooh, they go just. And you know what? You're 50% right and 50% wrong. You see, you're so busy trying to hang on to what you stole that you couldn't even hear the whole sentence of what we need to feed our soul. We said if you're not going to carve us out our own space, see, this is how racists came. Y'all listen to what I said. If you're not going to carve us out our own space, and then I said, and we'll take Texas. That's if you was giving up anything. Because we know you're not going to give up shit. Then don't stand in our way when we exodus from this country. Y'all never heard that. You see, all you go back to Africa people, you know, all they, well, why don't you have to leave then? If you was listening, you would have heard me say, if you're not going to do that, and we know you're not going to do that, then don't stand in our way when we leave. But you white people who always think that we are out to get you and you're scared ass because you know that you done some shit that you wasn't supposed to. First thing out your mouth, they're out to attack white people. Well, why would we do what you do? That's what you do. That's what a barbarian does. The first thing they do is tribe up together and go attack some goddamn body. No. We mob up to defend ourselves. However, I don't want nobody to miss this. You threatened us. You told everybody you were going to fuck us up. On the 4th. You said everywhere. Blacks indiscriminately. Matter of fact, you remember they had 2 cops last week. I can't wait for them to start giving the word to kill the niggas. God, I can't wait. You thought we didn't hear that shit? Well, let me share something with you since y'all think that we're so stupid. You see, I have sources in law enforcement too. I keep telling y'all this skin is the only thing we're stuck in. And some of us are beginning to see that we're on the wrong fucking side. But we're not going to say nothing. We're going to give information. And that information lands in my lap. So to the law enforcement officials who wrote the following, yes, I saw it. I saw how you twisted and lied about it, trying to save your lily ass. I seen that. You're a coward. But the thing that I did notice is that you admitted that you all truly underestimated us. And you had no idea that this level of black people existed. So you're scared shitless now. Y'all know they sent the National Guard into Georgia today. Yeah, because somebody said the governor's got to do something about this. What the governor got to do about us exercising our constitutional rights? Is there something he can do about this? What can he do about us not breaking any laws? Well, this is just wrong. It's wrong when black people do it. You see, the image of us with one of these in our hand scares the shit out of them, because at the end of this barrel is payback for 400 years, and they don't want that. Okay. And some of y'all, I found out, y'all don't want it either because you're cowards. I'm going to call it like it is. That fear is a motherfucker, ain't it? Or we in Factz Ova Feelingz tonight. Leave your feelings at the door. But if you are a racist who can't keep your mouth shut, please speak up so we can identify you and get you blocked out of here. That's how we do it. It's a bait trap. We left the door wide open so all y'all could come in, so we could identify you and then block you so the brothers and sisters could talk to the brothers and the sisters. But other than that, I wanted y'all to be aware that a lot of stuff, they're not talking about this on the news. Oh, they're debating about it, but they're trying to fill in the blanks. Y'all talking to each other, but none of y'all trying to talk to us. Y'all sit around trying to attach us to other people, but none of y'all have the backbone to come talk to us. Matter of fact, you've been told already, don't go talk to them. Somebody even said that we were anti-Semitic. They're coming out with all the same standard lines. Oh, they hate the Jews. We don't give a fuck about the Jews. We give a fuck about black people. And that's so hard for y'all to think. Y'all think that we done gave up on ourselves. Y'all think that we hate each other. That shit didn't work. And if you're a black person listening to me right now and you hate another black person, then you might as well just kill yourself and get out of our goddamn race. Because there's enough of us right now that we sick of the bullshit. We're sick of it. And we're sick of working with y'all because nothing ever comes out of it. That's why we don't give a fuck. I know the names sound real ghetto, but it's the true sentiment. And right now, today, the entire world agrees with us. And if you don't, then you have picked your side. There is no middle to this. So before I can continue, I have to share with you a letter that was given to me by white people. They wanted me to read it to you. And I said, well, I don't know how many people's going to take it. They said, go and read it to them, please. We want them to know these things. I said, well, right now, it's kind of tense. I don't know if the white folks going to be, if the black folks want to hear from y'all right now. No, would you please just tell it to them? I said, well, I got a picky crowd. My congregation, you know, they real black folks. He said, well, just please. I said, okay, I'll give it to them. So here it is, y'all. It says, dear black Americans, after all these years and all we've been through together, we think it's appropriate for us to show our gratitude for all of you and for all that you've done for us. We have chastised you. We've criticized you, punished you, and in some cases even apologized to you, but we have never formally nor publicly thanked you for your never-ending allegiance and support to our cause. This is our open letter of thanks. We will always be in your debt for your labor. You built this country and were responsible for the great wealth you still enjoy today. Upon your backs, laden with the stripes we sometimes had to apply for disciplinary reasons, you carried our nation. We thank you for your diligence and your tenacity. Even when we refused to allow you even to walk in our shadows, you followed close behind, believing that someday we would accept you and treat you like men and women. We publicly acknowledge that Black people for raising our children, attending to our sick, and preparing our meals while we were occupied with the trappings of the good life. Even during the time when we found pleasure in your women and enjoyment in your senior men lynched, maimed, and burned, some of you continued to watch over us and watch over our belongings. We simply cannot thank you enough. Your bravery on the battlefield, despite being classified as 3/5 of a man, was and still is outstanding. We often watched in awe as you went about your prescribed chores and assignments, sometimes laboring in the hot sun for 12 hours to assist in realizing our dreams and wealth and our good fortune. Now that we control at least 90% of all the resources and wealth of this nation, we have Black people to thank the most. We can only think of the sacrifices you and your families made to make it all possible. You were there when it all began, and you are still with us today, protecting us from these Black people who have temerity to speak out against our past transgressions. Thank you for continuing to bring 95% of what you earn to our businesses. Thank you for buying our Hilfigers and our Korans and our Nikes and our Jordans and all the other brands that you so adore but don't own. Your super rich athletes and your entertainers, your intellectuals and your business persons, both legal and illegals, exchange most of their money for our cars, our jewelry, our homes, and our clothing. What a windfall you have provided to us. The less fortunate among you spend all they have at our neighborhood stores, enabling us to open even more stores. And sure, they complain about us, but they never do anything to hurt us economically. Allow us to thank you for not bogging yourselves down with the business of doing business with your own people. We can take care of that for you. You just keep on doing business with us. It's safer that way. Besides, everything you need, we make anyway. Even your kente cloth, we make that too. You just continue to dance and sing and distrust and hate one another. I got to say that last line again. Y'all just go and keep on ahead. Just keep on dancing, keep on singing, and keep on distrusting and hating one another. Have yourself a good time. And this time, we'll take care of you. It's the least we can do considering all you've done for us. Heck, you deserve it, Black people, for all your labor, which created our wealth, for your resisting the messages of troublemaking Blacks like Washington, Delaney, Garvey, Bethune, Tubman, Truth, and so on, for fighting and dying on our battlefields. We thank you. And we really thank you for not reading about the many Black warriors that participated in the development of this great country. And we thank you for keeping it hidden from your younger generations. Thank you for not bringing such glorious deeds to our attention and for allowing us to move into your neighborhoods. We will forever be grateful to you for your unceasing desire to be near us and for hardly ever following through on your threats due to our lack of reciprocity and equity. We thank you so much. We also appreciate your acquiescence to our political agendas, for abdicating your own economic self-sufficiency, and for working so diligently for the economic well-being of our people. You are real troopers. Hey, even the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendments were written for you. And many of your relatives died for the rights described therein, but you didn't resist when we changed those Black rights to civil rights and allowed virtually every other group to take advantage of them as well. Black people, you are something else. Your dependence upon us to do the right thing is beyond our imagination, irrespective of what we do to you and the many promises we have made and broken. But this time, we'll make it right. We promise. Trust us. Tell you what, you don't need your own hotels. You can continue to stay at ours. You don't need for supermarkets when you can shop at ours 24 hours a day. Why should you even think about owning more banks? We have plenty of those now. And don't waste your energies trying to break into manufacturing. You work hard enough in the fields. Relax. Have a party. We'll sell you everything you need. And when you die, we'll even bury you at a discount. How's that for gratitude? Yeah. Finally, the best part. You went beyond the pale and turned over your children to us for their education. With that, we have taught them. It's likely they will continue in a mode similar to that one that you followed for the past 45 years since school desegregation. And we thank you, black people. Oh my God, black people, what could we do without you? Because without you, we wouldn't exist. I don't know how y'all can sit there after hearing what I just said to you and don't understand that when you do what you're supposed to do, they have a problem with it because you're going against everything that they've done to you. I just happen to have a copy of the Constitution right here. This is the Constitution of the United States that was not written for us. But since they say we can take advantage, for you all who didn't go to school, who grew up in a trailer somewhere, who don't understand that a lot of us are intelligent, this is what it says in the Constitution. I'm just going to hit y'all. It says right here, Amendment 2. I'm sorry. Let's go with Amendment 1 first, because most people, they've never really heard it all. They just think they know what it means. So they're quick to tell you when you can't do it. But it says right here, it says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Or abridging the freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say. Or of the press. They cannot limit the press, but they control the press, because I've watched them lie on us all day today. Oh, the lies are horrible. It also says, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble. That's all it says. Amendment number 2 says a well-regulated militia. Well-regulated. They put those words for a reason. Doesn't mean you're a mob with guns, not a lynch mob. That name came from white people. But a well-regulated militia. You know, people that have been screened. You know, people that have been trained. You know, people that are who are dedicated to the cause. You know, people who can follow instructions. You know, people who are all on one code. You know, people who are ready to follow a leader and not make up their mind to do what they want to do. We will never move forward if everybody wants to go and do what they want to do. Listen, if y'all can't unite behind me, then unite behind somebody, goddammit. But a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. That means everybody can do what they want to do. There's no curfew. There are no quarantines. Y'all don't realize that you don't live in a free society? Don't y'all realize the United States is not the United States that you grew up in, where you can say what you want to say, go where you want to go? Just hell with it. Just go live on the beach, be a beach bum. You can't do that no more. Don't y'all see what's happened? Y'all have had an internal takeover. And there wasn't a shot fired. It also says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, many people will come to me and say, well, when they said that, what they meant was, were you there? Well, I mean, my interpretation, were you there? No. So all we can go on is what they wrote in the little book. The same way I've seen a whole lot of y'all being Monday morning quarterbacks about what we did down in Stone Mountain. Were you there? Were you there? I'm talking to anybody. I don't want to hear. Look, I'm going to tell you how bad this is, y'all. And I'm sorry I got to do this. Y'all lying. Stop lying. People are lying about I was there. People are lying about that they part of NFAC. People are lying. Stop lying. Because if you were a part of us, you would have been there unless you had a damn good reason. And I'm talking about like you nursing a brand new baby. We told you to stay home. There were some sisters that wanted to come bring their newborns. And we like, no. So if you was there, you know who was there. We know who was there. History will record who was there. And if you wasn't there, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear your words anymore. Your word, don't tell me I'm going to be there next time when you wasn't there the first time. Because if we had died then, what difference would it have made? You would have skated to another day to be up under the master. But don't worry. That opportunity is coming again. I really wanted to talk to y'all tonight about why you cannot be the Lion of Judah if you don't have any teeth. And the teeth are what we are. We are the teeth. And the mouth is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, a lot of folks, y'all scared because we done changed the game. We done changed the paradigm. And white folks running around trying to figure out what to do right now. So if y'all don't take this as a warning and you keep walking around the same way you've been and you don't go out and buy you a firearm. Oh, I've heard the stories about gun stores don't want to sell to black folks now. See, they about to show you their true colors. We just tired of waiting Show it now. Show it now. Because what y'all found out is that gun control didn't work at all. Not the way we do it. So because that's where we are as a people, going forward today, you have a choice to make. You cannot be the Lion of Judah unless you're ready to put your teeth in and bite in self-defense, in defense of our race, in defense of our nation. We haven't said we're going to attack nobody. We haven't said that we're black supremacists. We don't have to act like, we don't have to be black supremacists. We are the ultimate being already. Our melanin level is the highest there is in any creature. We are already superior. We don't have to be a black supremacist. Who are we superior to? Yahweh already made us supreme. Only somebody with an inferiority complex would worry about who's more superior than them. Don't y'all know that? Hold on a second. Let me hit this because I'm superior. That water ain't never tastes so good. I want to say this to y'all because it appears that there appears to be some confusion about what's really going on here. So I want y'all to know that yes, we hear you, but we don't care. You have nothing to do with what we're doing. Stop trying to attach yourself to us. Stop writing these bullshit stories as if we're a part of you. Because you're going to find out we'll pull up on your ass too. Because everybody is to blame for the mess that we're in. Is it so wrong for us to want our own country? Everybody else got their own country by hook or crook. Is it so wrong for us to want to be able to determine our own destiny? Everybody else does. Is it so wrong for those of us who used to be property when we were truly only the property of Yah? Is it so wrong for us to want to get paid for our troubles? Obviously it is. But see, we wasn't breaking headlines when y'all was marching for George Floyd. We wasn't headlines then, but we made headlines when we went out to address you and let you know and put you on notice that what you see here, there's more of that, a lot more. So I promised I wouldn't hold y'all too long on that particular subject, but I did want to talk about it for a few minutes because if I don't, the lies will continue to spread. Please stop the lying. Please stop it. Because anybody with two eyes can go to the videotapes and see that none of the shit you said is true. You know, the other thing I wanted to bring out is the fact that some people said that, well, you know, the black people and guns. Well, how do you think y'all took over this nation? How do you think you invaded our motherland? How do you think you keep people in cages? How do you think you deal with us when we break your laws? You bring a gun. So now that I've made it fashionable for everyone to have a gun, stop wasting our money on their bullshit and go arm yourselves. If you can't get a gun at a gun store because they racist as fuck, go to a gun show. Go to a sporting goods store. Shit, buy the gun from a friend. Person-to-person sales don't require a background check. You know who not to sell a weapon to. But as it stands right now, I don't want to see no more of these weak ass videos where the black person is in some fucked up position and his dumb ass ain't got a gun. Now, before I move on, before we can move on, y'all know I got to go to the ancient texts. I always do. And I want you all to know that a lot of you all don't understand that some of the people that you follow behind to make it through these times, they're not telling you these things. They just want your money. Oh, I saw this story. Who's behind these people? I'm going to say this publicly one last time. And anybody else that says it after that, you just showed me how much of an ass you are. Let me help y'all out. I'm not an agent of anything. I may be an agent for change. I'm not paid by anybody. I'm self-paid. Ask anyone who's in the NFAC who has experienced my generosity. Ask anyone in the NFAC and they will tell you they haven't had to spend a dime to do anything, and we don't accept money from nobody because to what much is given, much is required. And for all you hating ass, backstabbing black folks, you thought I wasn't going to get around to you. Let me let you know something. Keep talking. All you're doing is showing us who goes with us and who can stay with that bullshit. Yes. And when we leave you and they start killing you, don't call us talking about please come back for me. And I mean that sincerely. You can call me anything you want, but you won't be able to call me later. That's the real deal. In the meantime, my people, I do want to get into the book a little bit tonight. And if you have your copy of the book of Enoch with Yahweh's name restored, I wish you could be so kind to go to a certain scripture that I'm going to quote for you that I think is fitting to the situation. And that is when we talk about who is the antecedent of time, the Son of Man. And when we talk about the Son of Man, it's interesting because immediately people in the slave church, they instantly think about Jesus. They say, oh, it's Jesus, whose real name was Yeshua. But when we talk about this, we always talk about it from the perspective of what the Romans wrote to you. You see, they want you to believe that none of the people who hung out with Yeshua, they didn't write anything. None of his people who were in his family wrote anything. A bunch of people that hung out with him who knew some people wrote all those books. And then a person who was responsible for hunting down and killing the people who worship Yeshua. Those are the people that then wrote the New Testament. You got me fucked up. We don't believe that here. I'm here to shatter that for you right now. If you have a copy of the first book of Enoch with Yahweh's name restored, all others are fake, then you would know that it talks about in chapter 48 in the book of Hanok, which is Hebrew for Enoch, it talks about the Son of Man, the antecedent of time. It talks about his judgment. It doesn't say his name was Jesus. It says he existed even before then. It says that furthermore, in that place, I saw a fountain of righteousness. So someone is being given a tour. The person being given the tour was Enoch. Enoch was told to be given the tour because Yahweh wanted him to be the scribe so he could record just how fucked up it would be before that he had to come down and destroy everything. So when y'all start doing it again, somebody will have a point of reference and could show you. Y'all know we doing the same thing they did before. But then again, you've been lied to. You've been given a slave master's religion. And then on top of that, white folks tried to create their own religion and call it Catholicism, which was some watered down ripoff of what they stole out of our books. And they run around with that, bullshit that means nothing. All those who dwell upon the earth shall fall and worship before him. And they shall magnify, bless, and sing the name of Yahweh of hosts. That's what's written. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. It says that in those days, the kings of the earth and the mighty landowners shall be humiliated on account of the deeds of their hands. Therefore, on the day of their misery and weariness, they will not be able to save themselves. Oh, you can go and check chapter 48, verse 8. It'll tell you that. The trick is everything that's written is coming to pass now. Have y'all looked at the skies and how weird they look? Haven't y'all wondered why there's so much disease and pestilence floating around? The earth is shaking. Haven't y'all wondered why kids are out of control now? Haven't y'all wondered why homosexuality dominates the land? Don't get mad at me. I didn't make it up. I didn't write this. I got thrown in here just like you. I'm just telling you what you see. And y'all comfortable with it. But you will not put your head in these ancient scriptures because you don't want to face the truth. I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to inform you. Can I talk to him? We Factz Ova Feelingz. We're coming up close on the end of the first hour. Yeah, we're going to do 2 hours tonight because I got something that we have to talk to y'all about. I want you all to understand before I break that if you can't handle this now, you really don't want to come back for the second half because it's going to get rough up in here. You wonder why? I'll tell you why. Matter of fact, I won't tell you. I'll let him tell you. I'll let Yahuwah speak through me to you. And I am the hidden God, hidden to serve an end, veiled in mystery. I'm further obscured by the mist of mortal delusions. Unable to see me, men declare I do not exist. Yet I declare that you, man, with his mortal limitations, see only a minute piece of the whole. You're incapable of bringing Yahweh down to your level. So stop it. You don't know how Yahweh thinks. It's unthinkable. You don't know how Yahweh moves. He's unmovable. And you don't know what he has in store for us because you didn't build a goddamn store. I'll see y'all on the other side. We Factz Ova Feelingz tonight. Somebody tell me how you gonna be the Lion of Judah when you ain't got no teeth.